Hello boys and girls, nice to see you again. Well, today I'm going to read a story called Cloudland. It's written and illustrated by John Burningham. And you can see on the front cover there are children playing in the clouds. Let's have a look inside. I'll just make my picture a little smaller. Cloudland. They had spent the day high up in the mountains, so high were they, that they could look at the clouds below them. Look, there they are, Mummy, Daddy, and the little boy. It's getting late, and the light is fading fast, said Albert's father. We must hurry down before it gets dark. Then something terrible happened. Albert tripped and fell off a cliff. Albert's mother and father looked everywhere, but they couldn't find him. They were very sad because they loved their little Albert. You can see they don't know what to do. Albert was lucky. The children who live in the clouds had seen him falling and said some magic words. They either said, "Fumble, grally, goggle, ho, he," or "Teetum, waggle, barry, see, knee," or was it "Gargle, giggle, fiddle, num, dee"? Albert found himself becoming really light, and the cloud children caught him. "We'll make you a bed in the clouds, Albert," they said. "You must be tired after your fall." And there they are, the cloud children. They've caught Albert. And there's Albert sleeping on a cloud. When Albert woke up the next morning, the cloud children had made breakfast. After breakfast, we're all going to climb up those tall clouds and play jumping games, they told him. And look, there they are, jumping. That looks fun. Albert really enjoyed jumping. He wasn't at all afraid because he felt light as a feather. After the jumping games, they played cloud ball. But the clouds were becoming darker and darker. "There's going to be a thunderstorm. Let's make as much noise as we can," said the children. And there they are. And they're being very noisy. You can see Albert's playing a drum. Then it began to rain. "We're going for a swim now, Albert," said the cloud children. And off they went, swimming through the rain. After the rain came a beautiful rainbow, and they all painted pictures until it was time to go to bed. The next day there was a strong wind, and they were able to have races. They raced each other on little clouds, which was great fun until Albert found he was being left far behind. So there's the rainbow. They're painting their beautiful pictures. And here's the race. And there's Albert. And look, he's a long way from the others. Albert was all on his own. The other children were drifting further and further away. Suddenly there was a terrific noise and a rush of air, and Albert was nearly knocked off his cloud. What could it be? Look, it's a huge jet. But the plane left a perfect path for Albert, and he was able to walk to the other children. Albert was really enjoying his time in the clouds and the games with the children, but one night As he looked down from his cloud bed, he saw the lights of a city. The city below, and he thought of his mother and father and his own little bed. "I want to go home," he said. He said it so loudly it reached the ears of the Queen. "Now, what's all this about?" she said. "Nobody has ever asked to go home from the clouds before." "I want to be with my mother and father again," said Albert. The Queen felt sorry for Albert, and she thought for a long time. There's Albert on his cloud, looking down at the city. At last she said, "I have a plan. It will be difficult, but I'll try to make our clouds drift over where you live." So while Albert and the cloud children spent their days playing, and each night Albert slept in his cloud bed, the Queen got in touch with the wind, until one day she said, "Albert, tomorrow we'll be over your home, but first we're going to give a party for you, and I've invited the man in the moon." So the party started, and here's the man in the moon sharing the party food. Next evening, the clouds drifted over the city where Albert lived. The Queen and the cloud children shook hands with Albert and said goodbye. Then the Queen said the magic words backwards. She either said, "Hee ho goggle grally fumble," or "Knee sabari waggle teetum," or was it "Dee num fiddle giggle gargle"? Well, there's Albert floating away, the children and the Queen saying goodbye. The next thing Albert remembered was that he was back in his own little bed, in his own room, and his mother and father were with him. Albert sometimes wishes he could be back playing with the cloud children, and he tries to remember the magic words. Look, there is Albert with Mum and Dad. People hear Albert saying strange things to himself, things like "Nari bluey beanie ho," or "Meeky maggy diggle he do," but he can never get it quite right. "There goes Albert talking to himself," they say. "He always did have his head in the clouds." And there's the back cover with the cloud children. There's the back and front cover. And there's the front cover, Cloudland. What an interesting story. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye.